What's up everybody, I'm Badman here. Today I'll be doing a profile on the Hirudegarn deck that I played during the release tournament. Had a lot of people ask me for a deck list for this, so I'm going to go over the cards I played. First, I want to give credit to Matthew Coombs. He came up with this list. I wanted to use the Hirudegarn leader, and I wanted to use Analaza, and he had a really good list that really encompassed the strength of both of those cards. So I just went with the list that he came up with. I want to leave his YouTube link in the description. So why Hirudegarn? First, this leader is really good because when it attacks a leader card, you discard a card from your hand and draw 2 cards. At first glance, it might not seem any different than the other leaders because you're still going +1 on the attack, but he lets you see more cards in your deck, so you can get your pieces faster, and that's why he's good for a lot of these generic blue decks. Also, him discarding a battle card helps fuel Overwhelm, so you don't have to tech in any extra cards for your Overwhelm. And when you're at 4 less life, you can untap 2 energy and flip them over. And on the back, he's got a really good generic skill. It doesn't force you to build your deck any kind of way. So those leaders are usually better than the other leaders. When he attacks, you draw a card, and if you have 4 more energy, your opponent has to put a card from their hand on top of their deck. And that's really strong. It's better than making them discard a card because you're denying them a draw next turn. If you played a game like Magic, you know that putting a card from their hand on top of their deck or from their field on top of their deck is better than sending it to the discard because you're denying them a draw step that they get every turn. So first, I'm going to go into the Hirudegarn specific cards. I've got 3 Hidden Darkness Minutia. When you discard it from your hand, you can search your deck for Hirudegarn the Wanderer. I got 2 of these. This is just filler in the deck. When I discard a card with my super combo or with Hirudegarn on the front side, this just lets me net an extra card, and I just use this card to put in energy or for combo. In game 2, you're going to side these cards out every game for the cards in your sideboard. Super combo, Hoy Emissary of Flame. This is Hirudegarn super combo and another reason to use them. This one's really good. When you're at 4 or less life, if you leave the Phantom Demon, you discard a card from your hand and draw 2 cards, and it gains the plus 10,000 until the end of the turn. So just like the other super combos, you still go +1, but you see more cards in your deck. And when you're low on cards in hand, this is really good because you're seeing 2 cards instead of 1 when you draw. And then 4 Phantom Flame Cannon. This card is insane right now. On offense, it just pulls cards from their hand, and you choose the card. They don't get to choose. So you can really disrupt them. And on their turn, you still get the 10,000, and you're going to put a card from hand on top of their deck, which can potentially mess up a play that they have. So I played blue and green. So here are my green cards. 4 newfound powers on Gohan. This one is really good. It's like the same combo from set 1, except it gains critical and 10,000 power. And everyone knows how insane critical is right now. So this helps you get closer to Awakening and puts pressure on their opponent's leader. 4 Gift of Power Guru. Activate main once per turn, choose one of your battle cards and it gains plus 5,000 power. This one is just in there as green energy, and if you do get to play it, that plus 5,000 gives you some good value. If you use his effect twice, then he's paid for himself in cards. And decks I like to play, I like for my cards to have a lot of value, so here's just the next best thing to put in. 4 Nail, the Namekian Ace. This card is just a better sister attack KO. When it attacks, if you got another battle card and play, draw a card. And it gains plus 5,000 power. For 2 energy, that's really strong. You might give them a card if you hit their life, but you're also getting a card, so you're keeping up in cards with them. 4 Combo Killer Analaza. This is one of the main cards I want to play in the deck. it takes over a game when it comes out because it does something every turn. It's got barrier, so it's gonna be hard for them to get rid of it, and it's 20,000 double strike. So if they're at 2 life, then they're gonna have to stop the attack or they lose, and they're gonna have to combo and discard cards. When I played this, people played around this really well. Like people were playing cards like Senzu Bean and Phantom Flame Cannon, so that doesn't count as comboing, but it still kind of put them in a weird spot because they played those prematurely when they didn't want to because they didn't want to discard cards from their hand. So I guess it's still good for me because I made them play differently. So, and next are the black cards. 3 Relentless Destruction Mirror, Overwhelm 3, and when you play with Overwhelm, your opponent has to discard 1 card from their hand. Really good card because it just negs their hand. Like you're taxing their hand when you play this because they have to lose a card, and then if they're awakened when he attacks, they have to lose a card or take a life. So he's got a lot of upsides to playing him in a deck like this, where you want to put constant pressure on their hand with like Analaza and Phantom Flame Cannon and your leader attack. For 3-dimension control Demigra, he's got Overwhelm 4 for 1 energy, and when he attacks, the turn he comes in with Overwhelm, your opponent has to send a card from their hand to the warp, and if they chose a battle card, then you combo with it. So this was another card that kind of fit the theme of destroying their hand and getting value out of them, because if you discard a battle card, you combo with it. So he's gained more power. So he'd be like 25 for 1 energy, and you got a card from their hand, and they're still gonna have to stop the attack. So he just, for 1 energy, puts a lot of pressure on the cards in your opponent's hand. And it's just 1 energy because in this format right now, where people are playing, you know, critical attackers for 1 energy, you got to be able to keep up with that, and you can't be playing like 3 and 4 energy for cards that don't, you know, get a lot of cards from your opponent's hand. And for Raging Spirit, Sun Gohan, he's value 1 energy for a 15k attacker, and he's good because he helps keep your life total high, which is what you want to do in a deck like this. So you can get to the 4 energy, play the Analaza and Awaken, and still have a high life total. Now for some more extra cards, 4 full power energy. This is one of the best negates in the game right now because it stops all the 1-drop legendary flute shenanigans. So if you're this full power energy is a reason to play green right now, just because it's so good against that strategy, and it's just a simple negate. So late game, if they're swinging at you with something that you're not gonna really be able to combo out of, you can just negate it for 1 green energy. For objection, I would go down to 3 on this. It was clogging my hand a lot, but I wanted to see it every game because it got me up to 4 energy on turn 3, and having that extra energy helps me get to that sweet spot where I want to be, where I have the 4 energy and can awaken. And 3 legendary flute as the last card. You have to play this card if you're playing blue leader. I didn't get as much value out of this card as the blue and red decks did, but it was still cool to like be able to combo at this on my opponent's turn, swing with it on my turn and then flute it back, or overwhelm into Relentless Destruction Mirror, attack with them, and then use legendary flute so it comes back to my hand, and then this will be in your drop next turn, so you just need 2 more to bring him back out again. And it was good to get like multiple attacks off with the Gohan here to help you awaken quicker. So that is the deck that I used. I went 2-2, unfortunately. I only lost to 2 undefeated players, so I guess that's cool. But I had a lot of fun playing it, and I'm probably going to continue to play it because it's just the kind of deck that I like to use when you get a lot of value cards. So the sideboard that I have here isn't entirely accurate. I didn't bring in a lot of cards from it. So the cards that I brought in 4 Senzubin every single game. I'm gonna put this in the main board now. It's just too good. It does too many things, and it helps protect you against a lot of the aggro right now as well. 3-Beast Coercion. I'm still gonna keep this in the sideboard, but I did bring it in 3 out of the 4 games just because I needed extra negates to stop all the aggro. 2 Mafuba. I didn't play against anything that I needed to bring that in against, but I decided there just in case of, you know, Victory Strike or something like that. 2 Jocko. He helps against some of the all-in decks. I didn't bring him in, but I just had him there just in case. What's that? 6, 9, 11. Yeah, okay. 1-dimensional Banisher Fu. I brought him in one time and never saw him, so that sucked. If I did see him, it would have been good, but I didn't get him. Mass Sand, same reason, just for some more removal. And then Iron Hammer of Justice, Android 16. I thought he'd be a good idea, but he can just get bounced back with Legendary Flute, and it's kind of easy to kill him now. But if they just don't have any removal at all, then he can really shut down an aggro deck, especially with the Senzubin, to make him stronger. So that is the deck that I ran at the release tournament that everyone's been asking for a list for. Try it out to see if you like it. I like it a lot. It's really it's really powerful, especially when you get out your Analaza and you still got a lot of life. So your opponent is having a hard time taking you out because you've got like 4 life and you got Analaza out, so they have to discard when you combo. They got to discard when they're defending themselves. You got the super combo to help you find a lot of cards in your deck, and then Phantom Flame Cannon really sets them back a lot too. So, alright everybody, thank you for watching my deck profile. Thanks for asking for it too. Like the video if you liked it, and leave a comment and subscribe. And thank you guys. See you next time.